Sorry about that. My computer crashed, and I don't know how to edit, so it's going to be in part one, part two.
Hey, there we go. Hey,
Yeah.
mic check.
Hello.
Himself into a pickle. Funniest thing I've ever seen.
Okay,
Yeah, I was talking to the
repeat that.
recording. Yep.
Repeat that. Hessen, repeat that couple of last lines, and then we'll change. We'll get back to you.
I remember. Oh, you in a different conversation?
No.
Run the last couple of lines again. Then you can do a reaction. Then
Okay.
we'll change
Well,
scenes.
I cut out when I said we're family now, right?
Yeah, and then she dropped a bomb. So go ahead and repeat a couple of lines.
Yeah, I mean, well, you are, I guess, part of Rizu and Reddy's and New Rose's family. I mean, they did technically kidnap me from Uncle Guna.
Uncle Guna.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the room next door, sitting by herself in the stateroom, you now have time to think, Trillivan asked.
Oh.
And it's going to be a long ride. So you've had the opportunity to, from within your robes, to pull forth the worn but still strong tome of Sanye's journal. Would you like to read this, or shall I?
Yes. Oh, I'll read it.
Go ahead.
I have a few things to use. And I look at it, It's just like, it seems so long ago. I met you on Kessel. I wonder where you are now. Where did that witch take you? Report up. Alright. And I open it up. Is there a table in front of me?
Yeah, opening
Huh?
the book at random. Yeah,
Yeah.
there is a table in the stateroom, sure.
Oh,
Although it's
put it
more like
down.
it's a fold out platform that you can fold back into the wall. Starships are
Oh.
like that.
Oh, okay. It's like an
Everything's
airplane. Yeah.
everything's collapsible.
Alright. Jedi Sentinel Arctis Darago Vaughn was my master. When I first learned of power, I first learned attack. Daily, he had me rush through a series of training targets to reach the other end of the chamber. I destroyed my training targets easily. When he turned me around to see what I had done, he asked me to put the targets back together. That proved much harder. It took me much longer than striking them down. Each day, my master had me rebuild the training targets I was to attack. I became frustrated in how long this took, as I desired new techniques. When I asked him for more training and less maintenance, he told me, "It was easier to destroy, isn't it?" I was troubled by this question. Then he asked another, "Do you think it was easier to attack than to defend?" I answered, "Of course." I knew already that he was leading to another discussion of the perils of the dark side. Then he told me, "Yet you are wrong. Think. How much time does it take to set your feet in combination strikes when you could flow with the battle, defend once, and move past an opponent instead? Look at the targets you have rebuilt. They are not your opponent. The opponent is the distance to your goal, not those who stand in your way. Try again, yet deflect, defend, flow along your way." I returned to the starting line, and my targets ready to towards me again. This time I did not focus on it. My drill was much faster, deflecting as I went, and I reached the finish line without striking a single blow. Now you understand, Padawan. Force can aid you. It is you who must seek the more efficient path. Destruction costs you time and effort, and the most living opponents you face cannot be repaired by your hands, no matter how long you try. Master Vaughn dismissed me from my chores that day, and I started seeing things differently. Where I walked, what path I took, the path I wanted to. Every path, the way we walk is not only reflects us, but changes our point of view. Seek the goal through the path, not your opponents. Sanye. And I closed the book, and I just kind of, stare at the ceiling just to let that wash over me and reflect as I do when I read.
Here's some talking in the corridor. Well, not in the corridor, but muffled through the wall. You can't exactly tell what's being said, but you do hear the gravelly voice of Bingo, and he sounds suddenly alarmed.
But he doesn't seem to be usually like that. What's got him so twisted? Oh God, somebody die. And I get up, and I go to the door, and I open it, and I look outside at them.
What do you mean,
Well,
Uncle
the
Guna?
door. Right. That's the first thing you
Oh,
hear.
so that didn't. I guess she didn't mention that before. Yeah,
Hey, Trill.
howdy.
You mean
How's
Guna the
everything?
Dog of the Hut Cartel? That was your uncle.
Hey, when I came to Castle and after the work started to get low, and Uncle Guna took me in.
Oh, you got to tell me about this.
She
Oh,
just
here we
did.
go. Back to episode 1. Here we go.
Because, Guna, we put his ass in jail. We got his ass. He's no good.
And this is the first time Mala has heard that.
Yeah, he tried to kill me. I mean, he tried to kill a lot of
Oh,
us. He killed my friend. Well, actually, his hired goon killed my friend. That's why I have his droid. But, you know.
oh, not Uncle Guna.
Yeah, he's not
Oh,
so nice. He bribed and cheated and stole and assassinated his way all around Dantooine, and we put a stop to his ass and got him locked up. And they sent his ass to the Hut Cartel.
he was gonna fix a rodeo.
Fix things is good though, right?
Mala does not even know what a rodeo is.
Okay. Well, only when it's broken. The rodeo wasn't broken. We all wanted Leto to win.
Who's
I don't know who.
Leto? Mala has no idea who Leto
Yeah,
is.
well, she's just getting that confused look on her
Uh,
face.
we'll show you who Leto is later. I got some video back at JDO's we can all watch. You can appreciate what
Yeah.
the rodeo and what we saved that day. We saved that rodeo.
Now, Guna was gonna ruin it.
Yeah, he was. He was gonna make a guy who wouldn't win fairly win, and ruin a lot of other people, their livelihoods. We had to stop him.
Yeah,
And
didn't
then,
he
of
have
course,
Parko Timlin assassinated?
yes. Oh, he was trying to kill me. He was trying to assassinate me. I guess Parko just got in the way. Although he might have tried to kill me. I don't know. I never actually got an answer about that. Maybe I should, but that doesn't really
And
matter now.
as you're talking, Tuzik kind of sneaks out of the room and leaves you.
Oh dear. He took the. He's learned how to use grenades, has he? Maybe I should have taught him with pine cones.
Well, Molo's just
So,
got has just kind of sat down on the bed or something. And her ears are folded on top of her head. It's like, oh,
you got a new family now. You're back here with us.
Yeah, that's what I was
What the?
telling her.
Yeah.
Risu, I wanted to talk to you about like the Force and stuff.
What
Is
about it?
there is there any way you could trade me?
Uh, I guess suppose I could try.
Here
Like,
we
how do you
are.
feel it? Like, I want to feel the Force. Like, I've saw the Force goes. I've had
Okay,
moments, but I want to
that
feel the
that you
Force.
have. Okay, okay.
what?
Yeah, I could give you some lesson. I don't really like how the tree reacted to you, but we could work on that too.
Yeah, I don't like how that tree reacted to me either. That gave me a creepy vibe, but
No,
I think that's because of my dark past or whatever.
yeah.
But I'm
So
trying to do right now. I mean, trying to do the right thing now, right? That's what counts.
yeah, it does. We've all
So,
done some things
so can we
in our
start
past.
now? What do we do? Like meditate? Like, can you teach me how to meditate?
Sure, we've got plenty of time.
Like,
And
can
I
I
think,
try too?
of course, who I think might have some good advice for someone on your your unique path. My dad. Do I have his journal on this little stick? Because I have his journal too. He wrote a bunch
What
of
you
stuff.
have is Navir Vast's recordings.
Yeah, his
You
recording.
have not looked. You have not looked at any of these, so you
Yeah,
don't know what they contain.
yeah,
You've only looked at one, the very first one,
yeah.
where he announced your birth.
And I hold it. It's like, my father had a unique, let's say, relationship with the Jedi. He didn't become a Jedi. He didn't withstand the trials. But I take it you're not trying to go that path. You just want to explore your own path, which I think is what I think
Well,
is right for you.
well, I don't know. Maybe I could become a Jedi.
Maybe, but I think this will help you more than it would ever help me. And I hand him the little floppy disk.
Well, it's your dad. Do you want to
Hmm.
listen to it together? Maybe we can meditate while listening.
Well, I barely knew the man. Let's be fair. He did what he had to do, but no, I think you should listen to him by yourself. Though we can certainly meditate. This is a mission, your first mission. Why don't you listen to those?
Okay.
You do,
Uh,
but you do have the Jedi mind. You do have the Jedi code.
yeah, I do have the
Mm-hmm.
Jedi code.
Yeah, that's like a
Okay.
mantra. I
There's
repeat
no
that.
emotion. There's peace. I'll remember that. But
Yeah,
okay, I'm gonna go listen. You sure you don't want to listen with me?
no, it's fine.
This is gonna
Okay.
be super awkward. This is gonna be super awkward.
Okay, I'm gonna go into the next room and listen to pop it in my data pad, listen to or plop it in my data pad, and listen to the Rishu's dad for
Mm.
insight on the Force.
All right, here we go. Meanwhile, before we get to that scene, Mala and Trell, you are now left alone, and Tuzi is gone.
Yeah. I look around and was like,
The moment you
that,
mentioned Parko Timlin's name, off he went.
huh, that droid has a mind of its own. It's probably a good thing. I hope my dad's recordings will help him. I can't bring myself to watch those. I don't know.
Yeah, but it, it is words from family, though.
Hmm.
You're more of my family than he ever was.
Yeah,
All of
well, I
you.
mean,
Now we're going to talk to Mala about family. Here we
Yeah.
go.
yeah, you do have a point. This blood, while blood is important for family, it's that's not what ties a family together. Like the favorite person from my family was Uncle Akazu, and we had basically just kidnapped him.
Oh,
Yeah,
kidnapped?
yeah,
Is that how families are built in your world?
yeah,
Huh. So we basically just kidnapped you up that mine. Huh.
yeah, pretty
I didn't really
much.
think about it that way. Well, welcome
Yeah,
home.
Meanwhile,
it,
alone, Bingo activates Navir Vask's uh, video memory log.
I'm gonna make an addition on my house for Mala, like a room.
no.
Oh. I mean, I don't want
Oh,
Mala to be
oh
homeless.
boy.
Well, my
A
oldest and
girl
dearest
and
friend.
her dog.
My oldest and dearest friend.
Girl and her
There's
dog.
Uh,
there's a door to Mala's room, but there's also a decently
yeah,
sized doggy door.
yeah.
Given how the
I thought,
first recording went, like this is probably gonna be like a personal love letter to his daughter, and Bingo's just gonna be like, "What
Yeah,
the
this
fuck?"
is super awkward. Are you sure? Do you really want I
Yeah, I'm
can
doing it.
sense that
I'm doing
you're
it.
awkwardly doing. You're doing it anyway. All right.
I want to learn the Force,
So
baby.
Yeah, trusting her, it's
the
like, oh yeah,
whole projection, because you're in a stateroom by yourself now. There's a couple of them that are empty, and the whole projection comes up, fizzes into view, and Navir Vask comes on screen. And this is the first time that you've seen him. And he's got light brown hair, shorter length. He's got high cheekbones and a squared chin, but not too wide. And over top of that is what looks like 4 o'clock shadow. And he looks really tired in it, but he's smiling. And he says, "Well, I suppose that I should start these recordings. I mean, I'm not allowed to be doing any of this anyway, all of these crazy events that have happened in my life, but someone needs to see them. A man in my condition, when I was identified with, oh boy, I forget who I'm talking to. Hi, Trill. Um, Little baby that I have in the next room, that's you. You were just born a couple of weeks ago, and I guess I have to explain. I'm your father. I'm Navir Vask, and the reason that I'm saying this right now is because, well, we're meet, and that's because of what I was. You see, when somebody's strong with the Force, which I'll explain later, when somebody's strong with the Force, it changes you on the inside. It changes certain aspects of your body on the inside. You never know who's going to be strong with the Force or who can be. But when they are, and when they access it, when it accesses them enough, it builds up these things called midichlorians. Now, I don't like the idea of people being special because they have them, but it was explained to me that once you start accessing the Force, or the Force starts accessing you, it changes you so that you're able to feel it more and more the more that you get into it. It can be a good thing, and it can be a bad thing. And this is why the Jedi Order, which I'm glad to say is still alive and well after thousands of years, that they find people that have these midichlorian counts, standard checkups for diseases and stuff. And then the Jedi come to you as a child, usually, and they try to get you into the Jedi Order. And that's what I was for a long time. It came time recently for me to try to become a Jedi myself. And so I went to this place called Ilum, Temple of Ilum. And I was a kid then. And they have you go through this gauntlet of tests in the caverns. Send you out into the caverns and you have to face your worst fear. And I did that. And my worst fear was losing you because, well, your mother was pregnant with you at the time. And we, who were supposed to be with the Force, I was old for the training, but old enough also to think about having a child. I was a little too young to be thinking about that, but your mother was such a beautiful person. So I'm glad I'm glad that I failed the test, at least the first one, and I failed it because of you. Couldn't stop thinking about you. About how pretty you were. You had your mother's eyes, and I got to hold a life that I made. And all of this talk about saving the galaxy and being powerful and resisting power, none of that made any sense to me. All I wanted when I went in those caves, trying to be a Padawan, too old for the training, they said, was to be old enough and wise enough to be your father, be a good person toward you. So I guess I'm the greatest failure who ever lived because I've got you now. So I'm going to watch you grow up, and I'm going to keep making these recordings for as long as I can, wherever I go. And I hope they don't find you. And I hope they don't find out the truth. But this is Navir Vask, and Trill, if you find this, or if anyone else gets it to you, I loved you from the very start, and that changed everything. And he reaches for something in front of, close to the recording point, and the recording ends.
Okay. Bingo's furiously taking notes. And
Loves his
wow,
daughter.
he says he says out loud, "Wow, this is very personal. Wonder why she didn't want to." I'll talk her into watching this later. All right, next recording.
It fuzzes into view again, and this time there are flashes of light from somewhere else in the room, and he's sheened with sweat. He's clean shaven this time, looks a little perkier, and he has on these tan and brown colored robes. And he says, "Hey, kid, Navir Vask, your dad here again. I don't even know what you'll call me eventually, whether Eddie or Pap or whatever language you pick up. There are a lot of languages spoken here in the Jedi Temple. That flashing that you can see, there's lightsaber training going on. Now, a lightsaber is a wonderful weapon, you know. I've taken a shine to mine. It's strange because mine has a pink blade. I'm not sure that the other Jedi like it very much, because every time that I use it, they look down on me. But I'm trying my best, and I'm going to try to be the best Jedi I can for you, and for everybody else in the galaxy too. I'm learning a lot of things. I'm learning how to move things with my mind. It's incredible the amount of power that the Force has. And when I'm fighting with the lightsaber, I feel alive. Like everything around me is in motion and I'm the center of it. But I know that that's not true, because even with the training lightsabers, I get hit every now and then. And it's not pleasant. So I'm kind of playing hooky from the lightsaber training. They got me in the shoulder. But I checked in with your mother, and you're growing up. And even though it's only a few weeks, she says that you've got this look in your eye. You're a really quiet baby, she tells me. You don't speak a lot, and you look and take things in instead of talking. Um, I told your mother that we need a pet, and she says that she's gonna get you a pet to have as a companion, because sometimes you seem lonely. I wish I was there to help. Um, oh, looks like my master's starting to come look for me. I'd better go and get back to the lightsaber training and see how much more I can take before I flop into my bed tonight. So, thinking of you, kid. I love you. And he reaches for the camera again, and it fuzzes out.
Interesting. Next.
Do you want to continue, or is this
I
getting
want
weird?
I want to continue.
Okay, so you get to the third. This is super awkward. Did not plan on this going this way at all.
Left turn,
We're just
Clyde.
prying into Troll's life, and she none the wiser. And the next one fuzzes up, and it's dark. It's the reflection of his face from the recorder, so you can only see his brow, the underneath of his nose, his lips, and his chin, and indicators of where the edges of his hair and his robe are. He says, "Yeah, Trill, I had to take this recording in the dark. We're on endurance training out in the caverns. We're supposed to stay out here with food and water and rely on the Force. That's going okay, and I do feel worse. The Force can do a lot of things, and even help you stay alive without food and without much water. I'm not really strong with the Force, not as much as the others, but I can still feel it guiding me to go to get what I need. Everyone else is asleep now, or in meditation. There's a lot of meditation. sometimes it replaces. Some of these folks are really strong with the Force. There's a few of them here that I've grown close to. I got another message from your mother. We're communicating in secret because Jedi Temple can't know. So she says that you're growing hair. So I'm really happy about that. I don't know why, but I had this strange feeling that because you're the daughter of a Jedi that you have something weird and that you wouldn't grow hair. It's silly, I know, but you're growing hair now. You're developing really quickly for a baby, she said. Eating up everything that you can, and you'll be on solid food soon. So I wish I was there. I wish I was there to see everything happening to you and watching you grow and giving you the wisdom that I've been given. But I can only talk to you in little these short little things, one at a time, when I get the time. The Jedi training is taking everything I have just to keep up. But it's these times where I get to share my life with you, even though I'm not, that somehow I'm still connected to you. That somehow, um, everything's going to turn out okay. Even though I'm here in the dark, avoiding sleep and without any water. And, kind of dark here. But the Force is with me. And, I think the Force is with everything. It's just a matter of how much you access it and how much you trust it, how much you trust it to guide you. And I'm starting to understand, but there are some gaps, some things I just can't grasp. I hope that you're better than me in a lot of ways, because I still make some mistakes in life, but you're not one of them, and I'm convinced of that. Now I hear something outside, so I better cut this short. I have to go see what it is. I'll talk to you later, Trill. My little baby, my daughter. The recording ends.
Bingo takes notes. Force can make you survive without food or water. Force connects everything. Uh, well, this is kind of. I'm learning some things, but this is kind of personal. But I'll finish it and then I'll get Trell to read it.
Well, the number of recordings runs into the dozens, and you're about to open number 4.
Okay, can we
Do you
just?
want to continue?
Uh, do you have recordings for all of them, or
I'm
can we
making
just?
half this shit up. Half of them I have.
Okay. I mean, we could just say I watch them all. Does it take like a couple hours?
No, nope. Because I'm going to say this one
Very good.
time because Troy's table. Do
Huh?
you want to continue, or is this getting weird?
Oh no, I'm not weird. Uh,
Oh, you
All
are
right.
weird,
Questions
but
would
it's
like
not
to know
weird to me.
more.
Yeah. Taking
You
this entirely
see,
seriously.
not Navir Vask this time. It's not Navir Vask this time, but it's a tiled ceiling, or maybe it's a floor. You're not sure because it's glazed with well, hypocycloids, the 4-pointed stars, and circles. It's a pattern of those, and the ceiling it's in patterns of cream-colored little tiles and dark maroon colors. And amongst them, these things are patterned in such a way that every so often there's a symbol of connected maroon pieces that form the symbol of the Jedi Order in the middle. And there's a bunch of smaller stars around it, scattered in maroon in places on this cream colored surface with grout in between the little scallops and stars, all interconnected. And it's Navira's voice, but you don't see him. He's whispering again. Well, I'm in the infirmary. I got hurt. I went outside, and one of the Kinrath that hurt me pretty good, but not lethal. It's not bad. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine in a couple of weeks. But, I'm not supposed to be talking. I'm supposed to be resting. And I hid the recorder inside my clothes as they transferred. So I'm still able to talk to you. I haven't heard from your mother in a couple of weeks. The last message I got is that your laugh really pretty. So all I can do is imagine it because she wasn't able to bring you. Well, she wasn't able to record the. I think there's something going on at home. I wish I knew what it was, but she seemed distant. She wasn't able to bring you to the recorder. So I haven't heard your voice yet. It's been a couple of months now, and I haven't heard what you sound like. And it's starting to hurt in a way that my shoulder never could. I I drew my lightsaber in combat the first time against this thing, and I managed to block its attacks away, but it was just too powerful for me. It got through, injured my shoulder, and the others came. And, well, Jedi Knight that was assigned to me, um, he took me aside and basically told me never, ever to go anywhere alone. That if I was to be a Padawan, then I needed to be in the company of someone else. None of the others are like that. I think I'm being singled out for something, and I don't know what it is. It's frustrating not knowing you, not knowing the situation at home, and this stinging in my shoulder. You know those Kenrath, those big spiders, they have spines on their legs, little jagged hairs that stick into your skin. It still stings. I wish I could go home. I wish I could quit this, but I know I can't. I have to be something good. I have to try to be something good for you, for my wife, for your mother. I feel torn between what I've told the Jedi Order that I need to be, and between you and your mother, and what I have to be. I can't explain it. The Force is still with me, but it's more of a guiding hand than it is guiding in any direction. The worst part of it is that I know that I have sooner or later, but I don't even know what that decision is. I don't even know what the question is. I keep looking at this ceiling and trying to ask myself, what am I supposed to be? What am I supposed to be? Was I meant to be this? If I'm not like the others, what was I supposed to be? Oh, nurse is coming to check on me again. I'll talk to you later, baby. My daughter, my child. I love you, Trill. The recording ends.
Yeah, Bingo remembers the Jedi code. There's no emotion, there's peace, and remembers. He's like, man, this Jedi is so full of emotion. Maybe that's why he has to hide his family. Maybe it's wisdom in that. He muses to himself and continues. I mean, we don't have to play all the. You said there's dozens. We could just skip ahead.
Yeah, I'm not skipping ahead. Or keep
Okay.
going. We have a full. We have the points of the. We're gonna skip ahead. It's gonna star map. So you can either come back to the main campaign. The plan is to get to the end of the star map today. So you can do a few at a time. You're in
No,
possession of this.
I mean, Bingo. It wouldn't take that long to watch, but it takes our play time. Is what I'm saying. Like we could say Bingo
That's what I'm saying. The
watched
same
it.
thing too.
We
I'm
could say
saying the same thing
we
too.
could say Bingo watched it and just give me the keynotes in a DM or something. I don't know.
Nope, not doing that because I'm only. And Troll happens to be at the table. That way, when you explain it later, Monty, you will have been caught up.
Okay.
So you'll
Well,
hear everything.
Bingo's watching them
Well,
all.
there's also
So
going to be plenty of time between now and when we get to the end that you can do it over two sessions or
I'm
three
only saying this
sessions.
once. I'm only running through all of this text one time. I'm not doing it again. There's too
all right,
much.
Bingo's watching it all. So
Well, that's what I'm saying. As the DM ruling is that you can't. You
oh.
have to either have to keep watching these or coming back to the main campaign. You can choose when to stop.
Well, like Bingo wouldn't. He would keep watching, but like if we're making if like we don't want to do this
Okay,
scene as
I'll interrupt you then. I'll interrupt you then. there's a knock on your door, which interrupts you out of this because you've been watching these personal musings of this Navir Vast for a while, and you've kind of gotten into the story of him, which is kind of trying to glean force things, but you're also this is the story of the man,
Hmm.
and there's a knocking, there's a rapping at your door.
Hello, who's there?
Hello, this is one of the B1 battle droids. May I come in?
Yeah.
The door slides open.
Hey, what are you doing in this storeroom?
I was watching Jedi training.
Jedi training? I know a little bit about Jedi.
Oh, tell me about it.
I know that my original programming included shooting at them. They were supposed to be the prime target in my original programming.
Oh, okay. Glad you're reprogrammed.
Yeah, I am too. But it wasn't really a pure programming. It's complicated. But I'm a little better now, and definitely different.
Yeah, you seem really open about it. I like that.
Well, we were all given heuristic processors, so I'm independent now.
Okay.
He just comes over without a word, without another word or prompting from you. He comes down and sits down on the bunk across from you like he's your best friend.
He is now.
Yeah. What's up, buddy? You know what? I'm gonna take that as a sign. I need to talk to Risu again. What is she up to? You know where she's at?
Risu? Who is Risu?
The the uh
You
I
can't say it.
I described Trell's character. I forget what she looks like.
Oh my god. I'm tall,
Oh, the
blonde
human
hair.
that just came on board. She should be in one of the other staterooms now if you want to talk.
Yeah, I better go find her.
Also, aren't I the only female on the ship? Well, except for
There-
Mala, but
yeah.
female human on the
You're
ship.
not. That's right. You're not.
Yeah, but Mala's not human, so
Yeah.
the female human, you know.
Right. That's
Mala's
why
not a
he said
human.
it that way. That's why he
Yeah.
said it that way.
Okay. What? So what was your name again? B1.
Well, B1, I have a long designation.
What is it?
Well, that doesn't matter
Okay.
anymore. The clones started taking names, so we started taking names too.
What's your name?
My name is Smokey.
Smokey. Cool. I'm Bingo.
I don't like that one.
What? What?
I
What was
don't
it?
like the sound of that one, Smokey. He's gonna burst into flames.
Well,
So,
nice to
what's your
meet you,
name
Smokey.
again?
Bingo. Nice to meet you, Smokey.
He stands up. He pivots his knees to stand upright. And it's kind of freaky how his legs move now that you're. It's like he could. It's like he could fold up on himself.
He
So he
can.
extends a hand. Yeah, I know. But Bingo doesn't know that. And he extends a paw.
Hey, Bingo. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Smokey. And I shake his hand.
So, you must be one of those heroes of the mouth.
Yeah, we're kind of a mercenary group traveling the galaxy.
Great, we could you always use more competent gunmen.
Yeah. Did you see that grenade I threw?
I was aboard the ship at the time that happened, so I didn't see the combat. Wish I would have had footage, though.
Yeah, I got 6 kills, a hextuple kill.
A hex tuple kill? Wow, I'm not even sure I believe that.
That's true. I threw one grenade. They all. I don't know if they're dead, but they blew apart.
Well, that's pretty impressive. Getting 6 kills in one battle, it takes me 6 battles to get 1 kill.
Oh, we'll keep trying. Maybe we'll get your programming upgraded.
Well, if I wasn't relegated to fire.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go find Risu now.
Okay, I'm gonna clean this stateroom, and I'm gonna power down for a while.
Okay. Go find Risu.
As the B1 battle droid collapses on itself right where it is and just kind of folds up into a little ball.
Holy shit, that's disgusting. Thankfully, I'm not there to see it.
Nope. So, Bingo, where you headed?
To Risu. What's she been doing this whole time?
You have no
Hanging
idea
out
where she
with
even is.
Mala.
Okay. Going to knock on the door. Hello?
Me and Mala were just wandering aimlessly around, just talking.
Yeah, so they're not in the room now. You don't know where they are. You don't know where they went.
It's not that big of a ship. I'll look around and you know what? I'll go on
Well,
comms.
there are other B1 droids walking past you, right?
Hmm.
So they don't pay attention to you. There are also other clone troopers who you've never seen before. Some of them have the clone armor on that you're used to seeing with the slate gray, but their clone armor isn't white. It's kind of a dingy gray color, and the slate blue is stained with darker blue and streaks of brown. So this is old armor that they're wearing. Some of them have pieces of the armor missing, and you can see a black undercoat underneath. Some of them don't even have helmets on. The
Give a
first,
salute to him.
the first, and they salute back just reflexively. They salute right back as if this was an army. You round the corner, and the first person you meet there is Compass. He almost runs into you. Oh, I was looking for you.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you have any idea what the overall path that we're taking is? What can you tell me?
Uh, well, it's a rough path. It goes through like a triple binary star system in the middle, the center of gravity, and next to a black hole. It's all kinds of crazy stuff. We're deciding we were actually gonna round the captains up and talk with them and show them. Rose has the star map. She's on the other ship right now, hopefully in hyperspace to where we're going. But Rose has the star map. We were gonna get the captains together and tell them ask them how they want to proceed. Personally, I think we should follow the star map routes precisely, just in case there's something there.
Yes, I would like to know how I can protect myself and the rest of my men and you side.
Yeah, I am the best pilot in the uh, probably on the ship if you need me on pilot. But other than that, I mean, I've never flown this big of a ship before, but I'm sure I can adjust.
He clamps a hand on your shoulder. Well, let's get you into the cockpit then.
All right, yeah, let's go. I'll talk to Risu later.
Well, you can talk to her now. What's more urgent?
Well,
We
we
have a
got like
12-hour ride. We have plenty of time.
yeah. I just want to pop in real quick and tell her about something I saw on video.
Oh, good. Anything important for us?
No, it's personal. It's about her father, and she's a Jedi, right?
I really don't want to talk about that for her safety, but we are aboard and among friends, so I suppose we could.
Yeah, yeah. It was his personal training. She for some reason she gave me the video, and it's more like a "I love you" message from her dad. That I can't talk to you, I can't watch you grow up, but here's some recordings. But I learned a little bit about because I want to be I want to be a Jedi myself. I'm trying to learn to feel the Force.
The Force.
Yeah,
Now, that's not something that I and my men talked a lot about. You might want to talk to your friend.
yeah.
When you're ready, I'll see you in the cockpit. Then we can do serious technical talk.
I give him a salute and go for refuel.
Salute right back. Right. It takes you a while to find Risu. Turns out that Risu and Mon so far that you guys are back in the cargo bay again. But before Bingo finds you. You're just walking amongst the storage crates. Oh, and by the way, down there on one side of the cargo bay area, there's a bunch of an unusually large amount of medical crates.
It's a hey Risu or Trell, whatever you want to be called.
Oh, Frill in private, Riso in public.
Yeah,
I'll
Trell.
go around stormtroopers. What can I do you for? I was telling Mala about how I wanted to have an addition to the house back on
Oh, that's
Dance
cool.
Win.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mala fit right in. But
yeah.
yeah, those videos you gave me, I've watched like 5 of them. There's like dozens of them. You know what they are? Do you know exactly what they are?
Well, no, but I have an idea of what they are.
They're personal, I love you, my daughter messages from your father that he couldn't be around to watch you grow up, and he recorded them while he's in training for being a Jedi.
Hmm.
Do you want them back?
Um, you can watch them, and you know where I live.
Okay, but I mean, I gained a little bit of insight from the Force,
Wow.
but
Wow.
your dad really
Uh,
loved you, and he wanted you to
uh,
get this message.
so and I like get closer to his face, and I was like, you know, my father sold me into slavery, and I grew up working in a mine. You know
Yeah,
that, right?
no, I didn't.
He may have. Well, that's what happens. I didn't have a family. Sure, I don't know
Are you
how
sure he
he.
sold you into slavery? How do you know that?
Well, because I was a slave, and I saw the last time I saw him, he was doing drugs. I don't know what happened from what that point he was a Jedi to the point I saw him and with the
I don't
13th
know.
sister and all gobbledygook inquisitorium in his brain.
I don't know,
But
but
the
go
man
on.
had some demons, and what do I need to see about all that? I
Look,
don't just.
from
Mala remembers meeting because Navir was a captive of Uncle Guna.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, Navir Vask. You know
yeah.
what?
He was in Uncle Guna's cells.
I knew
Yeah,
about that too.
yeah,
That's how the
yeah.
13th sister got him. Did whatever she needed to do.
Look, I don't know what happened, but look, in these videos, he like really loves you, and he's like fighting for your future, and he's becoming a Jedi
Well,
for your future, and he doesn't think his daughter is sold in slavery. He thinks his daughter's growing up, and he's excited to hear about her
yeah.
developments, and it's very personal shit.
Well, that's nice.
Hey, remember the
I
Jedi
pat
code?
him,
There's no
and I
emotion,
pat
there's
him on the shoulder.
peace.
Yeah, oh, I know. That's why I don't want to watch it. And I pat him on the
Oh,
shoulder.
good thinking. Yeah, I'll watch it. I'll watch it later. I'm gonna go to the cockpit, but
Oh,
I'll
one sort of interrupt. If you see my droid, you send him my way. I don't know where he is and what he's up to. Last
oh
thing we need is two crazy droids on this ship.
maybe got a little emotional when I mentioned Parko.
Maybe, but I don't know if he's that advanced. Maybe he learns. I don't know.
One, I'm not crazy. Two, I'm not on that ship.
Okay.
But
Uh,
how can you hear us,
yeah,
Rose?
I'll watch these videos later.
Robots.
But
I'm omnipresent.
all right. Thanks for this wonderful insight into the Force and to your personal relationship with your father.
I didn't have a relationship with my father.
He had one with you.
Well, he had one with an idea. You may go now. Tell my
Okay.
droid to come here.
Wait. Before. What if your father was like forced to take drugs and was sold into
Uh,
slavery himself? Like what happened? Like what if it's not his
I,
fault?
Well, he's dead now, and when I go to the great beyond, I'll apologize to him.
Okay. Wait, when's the last time you saw him? Wasn't it back? How'd you get
When I
this?
was in the when I was in the temple, after I fought the purge troopers, he was there. He caused the place to go boom. That was him.
He was the one at the power regulator controls.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just yeah. I saw him monkeying around with those, and he didn't come out alive. So one could assume it was him who did it, because it sure wasn't me, and I was the only one alive left there. So you
No,
guys got
he
there.
he turned and yelled at you to get out.
Yeah, I remember that because he didn't leave, and he was monkeying with stuff. You guys got me out. He didn't get out. He's dead.
Sounds like he sacrificed himself to save you.
I don't really know why he destroyed that thing in the first place. 13's sister was already gone by that point.
I don't know. I'll watch these videos. Maybe I can get some answers for you, even though you don't want them. But I feel like you need them.
Wow.
Oh, wait until you get to the
Fair,
last one. Oh,
fair enough. Best of luck. When we get back to Dantooine, we can go to, well, maybe I won't disturb the light side virgins. We're just gonna find a forest. Any forest will do. They're all beautiful. As long as it's beautiful.
All right, I'll catch you later. Wait, what about the
Yeah.
force training? Is are you gonna give me actual force training or just these videos?
Oh no, we'll have training, teach you some stick fighting. Maybe you'll find your own lightsaber in a pod race track one day.
Yeah, maybe.
I, I
Right.
could tell you about the shamans back home.
Yeah,
Oh,
tell
that'd
me
be
about them.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, write down your dreams.
Write down dreams. Got it.
Yeah.
Wait, how do you
Yeah.
meditate? Like, how do you clear your mind? Can you explain
I
that?
am grinning at the end. I'm grinning in
Well,
the moment you said that. Thank you.
well, the way I do it, I sit down. I gotta get comfortable. Some people cross their legs. I don't like to cross my legs. It's uncomfortable. Um, and I repeat the mantra in my head. And I suppose anything repetitive would do. So many cultures meditate.
Oh
You
no.
just keep doing it. Yeah. And you just keep doing that. And just for hours. Some cultures I've seen, they march in a circle around a fire. And it's a similar situation. You're trying, you when you say these things so many times, the words almost just sound, they don't have meaning. It sounds strange to hear them, Say a word in your head over and over and over again. It sounds made up. But that, to me, puts me into that place. I suppose the surroundings could help too. A nice babbling brook, the wind.
Okay.
I can't. So, I suppose here, I guess, just find somewhere quiet and just say the mantra. Even if something happens, you'll start to
What's
get the idea every time you do it.
what's the mantra again? There's no emotions. There's peace. There's no. Uh, Here, I got it in my notes. Look at my notes.
Good.
Do you know the Jedi mantra by heart?
No, well, that's why I'm looking it up on Google right now. There's no passion. There's serenity. There's no death.
Yeah,
There's only the force.
you might want to grab that, Monty.
Yeah, yeah.
Jedi
This is your
mantra.
responsibility. You got to do this.
Yes, yes it is.
Emotions yet peace.
Yeah,
Ignorance. Yeah, it's in my notes. Ignorance yet
yeah,
knowledge. Passion yet serenity. Chaos yet harmony. Death yet the force. I got it.
yeah, yeah. That's beautiful. It is beautiful, isn't it? There's a beauty to it. No
Heck
emotion.
yeah.
I'll never forget when Sonya told me the first time I heard it. It was that felt like a wave, like a pleasant wave, like a nice breeze that washed over me.
Yeah, yeah, I was there for that. Sonya, he told me the code and he told me a bunch of things. That's why I'm so interested in the Force, and
Mm,
I'm a
Yeah,
believer, and I believe I can use it if I will myself to.
yeah. Well, remember, regardless of how personal those videos seem, there's knowledge in them.
Yeah,
Unlike
I'm
you.
learning a little bit, but it's more
Yeah.
like I'm just telling you
Detach
how
your.
it is. It's more like
Well,
a father's love letter to his daughter that he never got to
well,
say in person.
well. That's not the point right now. Detach yourself from that.
Okay,
It is here for knowledge.
all right.
This is
Well,
not. This is not your place to be emotional about something that people that you don't know.
oh, I'm not emotional.
Well,
I'm
good.
not crying. You're crying. Anyways, yeah, no, I can detach myself from it. Yeah, I learned a couple things like the force is in all things. It was repeated what Sonya said. That there's a temple on Ilum. That
oh, yes, there is.
yeah, there's a
I've been
GI
there.
temple on Ilum. Oh,
It's
you've
where
been
I
there.
got a bunch. Yeah, it's where I got a bunch of my crystals for the collection.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
How many of those do you have?
sometimes feeling
Uh,
like when you use the force, it feels like you're the center of the universe and everything is revolving around you. So I just gotta summon those emotions. Feel like I'm the center of the
Oh,
universe.
I guess you could put it that way.
Yeah, learned a couple things from your dad.
Oh, you know, I read something um today from Sanye, and I read his journal. I was like, oh,
Oh,
can do.
can I read it?
When I'm done with it, sure.
Sure, maybe we could trade these.
Well,
What is this? This isn't an airplane.
No, longer flights and darker rooms.
Yeah, no
yeah,
kidding.
better food.
And
He
the
had a
mile
Not
high
gonna
king.
get
trial.
better. You're not gonna get better food than Buggy's Burgers. Now that that's a thing.
Yeah, I know.
Oh man, we gotta go back to Magito to get ready to eat that burger.
Yeah.
Or not Magito,
Well, we won't be on the detail. We've got to go back to Mechas 3.
Mechas 3. Yeah, we gotta go back to Mechas 3. Thank you, Rose, from Ghost Rose from
Have you
Let's
hyperspace.
say
seen
Rose,
Rose
Rose
voice
is
in my
only
head?
present.
By the way, I'm gonna do a DM insertion. 50-minute warning.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll catch you later.
Yeah, and I pat him on the shoulder.
Go to the
What do I need to
cockpit.
roll for the installation of these parts?
What's that?
What do I need to roll for the installation of these parts?
For the installation of these parts, you are going to need mechanics roll. You can do this to yourself. That's under the talent, and the talent would explain it.
I think it's a DC
Um,
15, so yeah.
I believe that it is. Yeah, I believe it is. So let's go with that. That's going to be let's do the DC 15 and rock on that while I get caught up with these messages that are coming out of nowhere.
Oh, look,
Mhm.
that's enough for 2 parts there.
It's just a casual 36.
I should have asked before you did that. Are you getting assistance from Ready in this process?
That would be a yes.
Okay. Well, this just got awkward, but Ready does help you
I think she'll
in
ask him to
asking
help
you.
on the chest area, not the bottom part.
Well, Ready will help nonetheless. He keeps mumbling to himself while he's doing the work. It's just a model. It's just a model. It's just a model. So he does help you with the work. He does help you with the work. and gets you geared up. Now, once you're done, Reddy takes a good look and he says, "So, you're wider.
But
Are you
yeah,
okay in there with this?
yeah.
So, why did you want to be, I don't know, differently shaped? It's not really a function. I don't know what I'm even talking about right now. I'm just trying to get a hold of your process. Why you wanted to look different like that?"
Jan, Tari, Rose, and torture of Avarice Lurine.
Okay, I don't understand. Look, I'm real good with technical things. It's kind of weird to talk about, but I'm really good with technical things, but I'm not so good with social things.
Neither am I. I'm just hoping this distracts people long enough for me to get a couple of stunning blasts in.
Oh, so this is distraction. Okay, well, that's working.
Now to test it out on the first victim.
Oh, no, you're not going to do what I think you're going to do, are you?
I'm going to the bridge.
Hey, wait! Bingo starts jogging after you.
Bingo?
Ready?
Don't you mean ready?
There you go.
I'm sorry, I'm getting my Duros confused.
Well, I've got to calculate out the next part of the jump from where we stop to the first waypoint.
Well, you make it to the cockpit before Reddy does because he was startled for a second or two, and the door is closed but not locked.
She opens the door.
And Tari's in the pilot seat, and he's actually in the midst of eating something. What looks to you like some grilled cheese sandwich of some kind.
She goes up and sits in the chair next to him.
And he doesn't take another bite. He just stares at you for a few seconds. Then he finally manages to swallow, harshly. More of a gulp than a swallow. He dabs the sides of the corners of his mouth while the stream of hyperspace is all around the cockpit. Folds up a napkin, puts his sandwich on it, right on top of the console. Well, on a flat part of the console anyway, on the top of the dashboard. He says, "So, what's the deal with this?" As he points up and down your figure.
It's me.
Okay, so why that? It's a little much, don't you think?
I think all your questions will be answered when we get to where we're going.
Hmm. So something compelled you toward the luxury droid side?
Well, I do have one stuck in the middle between my R2 and my BX.
Yeah, that's fair. He reaches over to his left side and pulls his helmet off of a post that it's attached to. Starts looking into the visor and looking anywhere but you.
By the way, there's been one thing I've been wanting to do ever since we met again.
He's looking up at the seam between the purple visor and the nickel colored helmet. What's that?
She pulls the fish face in reality for him.
Oh. Yeah, well, you got me. I can almost laugh about that. Yeah. I mean, that's nice that you can finally do that. Now that you have a face.
Okay, let's get this journey sorted out. She puts the device into the socket it's supposed to go on the counter.
The bottom light starts to blink. And he says, "Hang on. There's something happening here." It's pulling data from the nav computer. I'm not sure what's happening. Okay, it's attaching, it's loading something up from the black box. Navigational data. You want to take a look at this, Rose?
I can monitor it. And she plugs in.
Yeah, that'd be a really good idea. As what's happening to the star map is it's pulling data from the Longstride's black box, and something agrees with it because that bottom light blinks a little slower. It's finished. It's finished uploading whatever it is, and now that first light is just blinking, whatever that means.
I'm thinking that the lights will light up as we go past each waypoint.
Right? But how is it just gonna stay locked into the nav computer? Is it even safe to pull this thing out right now?
I think once we've put it in, we're on the long haul for all the stops.
Well, I certainly hope so. I want to get you to where you're going. I want to get me to where we're going.
Yeah,
Looks
I
like
think.
we're locked in.
Well, I wouldn't say locked in.
Well, this thing probably is. Knowing him.
Well, I don't know him, so all I can say is that I know his programming for droids, and I don't like it.
I don't like. I don't know him anymore either. Now, all I know of him is what was before the crash, and that was
Were you
years ago. Who knows what he is now?
Were you there when he transferred her?
Transferred her?
Rose. Transferred me.
To transfer her into you? No, I wasn't. I honestly don't. I didn't believe him when he said that he did that. That part of Rose was now part of this droid, an astromech droid. It didn't make any sense to me. It didn't register. I mean, would a normal person believe that?
Well, most normal people wouldn't run into a Doug that blew up in front of their faces.
Yeah, that's another thing. At which point he fidgets at his ear, not really speaking anything more about that.
So besides the 5 other droids, one of which I believe is a Twi'lek female originally, how many other people were brought to his laboratory, we wonder?
In the years before he kind of lost his place at Industrial Automata, he was running almost a cult by the end of it. Had a bunch of different people. People involved in biology, people involved in robotics, a lot of droid experts, or they called themselves experts anyway. The further and further it got along, the less reputable these people became until there was just a collection of kooks coming in and out of there. He wanted to give an ear to anybody he could, anybody within the fields that he worked with. His ideas just got crazier and crazier. Usually with a little bit of alcohol. It was just throwing stuff against the wall, wild ideas. But his eyes never changed. His eyes stayed locked on it. Even while he was drinking, he was soaking it in. Every little thing he could get. He started talking a lot about life, the meaning of life, and its purpose. I didn't stick around for a lot of that. I had work to do, runs to make. He didn't consider me smart enough to be part of those conversations anyway.
Part of me is worried that all 5 of the predecessor droids, I will call them, were forced into their levels of obedience.
Well, isn't that true for most droids?
No.
Well, it is.
Most droids are fitted with a restraining bolt.
Yeah,
This stops them from doing things, but it doesn't kill them.
that's true. I mean, if that's what we're talking about, then yeah, that was true of the droids that I saw him working on. He put restraining bolts on all of them, except for you.
And I didn't see a restraining bolt on 9C either.
Yeah, but I took a look at that droid too. There was a place for one.
Every droid has a place for one. I had a place for one.
No, you don't know what I mean. On her breastplate, there was an imprint of one, like it was removed recently, like it had been on there for. The paint was different.
But the restraining bolt would only make the droid feel pain and stop them moving.
Oh
I
yeah,
still
I know that.
I
I
still
know that.
retain that programming, and I can enact it if I feel that a restraining bolt on me has given that signal.
No, I
What
know
I'm
that.
honest,
What I can't get past is why remove the restraining bolt just recently on Mechas 3 on this 9C? Why do it then?
and why would it have alternate programming that could destroy its personality chips?
I don't know. I don't know. Then again, 9C, if 9C hadn't been there, we wouldn't have star map at all. We wouldn't have got the puzzle. So he definitely wanted somebody to find it. Definitely wanted us to find it. Definitely wanted to send us this way.
He wanted you to find it. It was meant for you.
Well, obviously, because I was the one he sent the message. So what did you actually find on that star map? Where are we going?
And she will discuss, well, first stop is Nora.
Well, you know what? Before we even start that conversation, we might want to talk to the other ship captain, including that weird guy that was following us. Find out what his deal is. You
Well,
hailed him before, right?
you have docking ports, don't you?
No, not on this ship. This freighter solo, it's only built to carry freight. It doesn't have full docking. Can't help you out there.
Why did you buy this piece of crap then?
Because I'm a runner. This isn't a taxi service. I'm a
It doesn't have to
cargo.
be.
And remember from Castle before we start, after the disaster on Castle, I've been downgrading my levels of crew the whole time. The last thing I need is a big operation with a lot of moving parts.
But a
And that
docking port,
includes other ships that I need to worry about.
I suppose it does mean you can't be boarded by other people easily.
No, that's true too. Besides, this little ship has a few surprises. Not anything
Yeah,
we can use in space, but it's mostly cargo thing.
it's going to have a few surprises if we're going to get through this lot.
Probably. But I'm not willing to talk about that now. We need to talk about the situation before we do about it. And that involves the other captains, don't you think?
Okay.
After all, they're in this with us. They deserve to hear.
See if you can raise them on comms.
Well, let me punch up communications, see what we can get. And within moments, you have compass, and you manage to hail the other ship that's in the slipstream of this hyperspace with you. Not directly in the slipstream, but you're moving in the same direction together. This HWK 290 with this mystery person aboard, called Cracks, that you don't know a lot about. Do you want to hail him too, or not?
Yeah, might as well. Did seem to do
So
some moving up for us.
you get the hail, Cracks. Crate 7, whatever you want to go by. That's right, Crate 7. It is Crate 7. Crate 7, do your job.
What's up? A little busy right now. Trying to assess damage.
Let me hear it.
A what?
Let me hear it.
Let you hear it. Let you hear what?
You have
The
sustained.
damage.
The Killer Dragon has sustained damage to one of its to one of its engines, starboard side. So your ship has a little bit of that damage has affected your maneuvering ability, affected your aiming. There's a whole bunch of damage associated with this, which is -1 on the condition track for the ship. So you've lost a little bit of defense. You've lost of targeting ability. You've lost. You haven't lost your speed. You haven't lost your speed. The damage kind of cascaded through the ship. That's the status.
Yeah, it's a DC 20 mechanics check to bring the condition check back up.
Oh, really?
Thank you, Bingo.
Huh?
That goes off the ship's mechanics, though, right?
Whoever's mechanic check for whoever's doing it on the ship.
Okay.
And you can do it in
Oh,
one
don't matter
round.
either way.
So.
That'd be a DC 20, buddy. If you can manage. Let's see if you get this back up.
You don't have an astromech droid to repair it?
Nope. He's got a pit droid on board, though.
A pit droid works. If it's
Oh,
better than
that
yours.
doesn't work. That
I
doesn't
swear,
work.
it loves
Yeah, but
low numbers today.
you can keep doing it. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah. So right now the damage is still on. It's not affecting your hyperdrive flow though, so that's good.
So,
Well,
you answer the
what's
hail.
the help for?
You
What's
answer
up?
the hail.
Do you guys have holographic communications?
No, we do not have that
Oh.
capability aboard my bridge. Compass says.
Do I have that? I know there's a
You?
community.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think I
because
do.
you talk to Donnie that way.
Oh,
You're used to seeing her face on board ship, at least in graphic form. Usually she's in the seat to the right of you, but not for this particular mission, and you still don't know why.
yeah. Why? What's up?
I'm ready to share information about where we're going and what dangers we face.
I was hoping by opening fire on them that she'd at least trust me a little bit.
Compass says, share what you can. Share what you can about our destination. Do it through audio if you have to.
First destination is. Come on, computer.
The Kyberis Nebula, outside the Nora system.
We're heading to the Nora system. Final coordinates will be incoming, which will transmit the coordinates of the first point.
I've been drawing a map from Mechas 3, and I have the Nora system, but I don't know where we were going after that.
The Kyberis Nebula is just beyond the Nora system, so you're going to overshoot the Nora system and enter the Kyberis Nebula.
So it sounds like it's at the equidistant point between Fondor, Folus, and Yagdul.
Oh, no.
Now, do either of you, Bingo or Rose, want to review what a nebula does?
Yeah, I'm on comms right now because I'm on the pilot seat, right?
Yeah, there's actually a rule. This is a space hazard that you're about to drop into.
Yeah,
I
what is
see
the
the
nebula?
Folus system.
But it's only either Rose or Bingo that can state what the dangers of a nebula are.
Tari, do you have shields on this ship?
No, I had to downgrade, remember? The only ship I know amongst these three, I don't know about your armored friend, but the Enduring Wave has shields. This one doesn't. So we're going to have to be pretty stealthy about what we encounter. Again, I'm a runner. I'm good at that.
Same here. I do not have shields on this one.
Then that leaves the enduring wave.
I may have to transfer across.
Well, we're not going to do that in hyperspace, and we're not going to do that easily anywhere else. So we're stuck with the configuration as best we have it.
But I think
I
you need
might
to.
be able to find a safe
Bingo
spot, but I'll
aboard
have
my
to make
ship.
a contact.
Bingo who is right next to me, appears to be one of the better pilots in the galaxy. With him flying the ship, or at least coasting it through hyperspace, I can tell that he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, thank you, Compass.
But
Yeah,
I
I
think
was.
the device we have needs to go to those coordinates, and that's inside the nebula,
Device?
and
What device?
it's on this ship.
What
The
device?
the device that has the star map leading to where we're eventually going.
Usually star maps are kept on data cards. What do you have?
And she'll describe the cylinder.
Well, it's not a cylinder. It's a flat. It looks like a data pad, but it's made of filament. There's just a translucent series of filaments filling in this rectangle instead of electronics.
Or she'll describe the device.
That doesn't sound normal. Are you all right with having that plugged into your nav computer?
Yeah, it's accessed the nav computer, but it hasn't done too much else. One of
So
the
it's
light.
actively accessed your ship systems.
Yeah, I've monitored it.
It might be capable of more than that. You may want to keep a watch on it.
It also has monitored where we're going, and I believe once we hit a certain set of coordinates within the nebula, the light will go solid, and we can progress to the next one.
So the next question is what's actually out there? This nebula we're talking about. What are the dangers?
Well,
It's
Nebula
rather warm.
it'll
It'll
run
eat your
havoc on the
fuel.
ship systems. Nebula will run havoc on the ship systems, and it's about once an hour. It'll either damage it or won't, or we'll assess the damage. It's like an hourly thing, but it triggers right when you get in there.
What can we do to
So
stop it?
Who's your best mechanic?
Well, on board this ship, that would be Call, our engineer.
on board this ship is me.
Yeah. You can while you're in the nebula, you can have your mechanic fine tune the systems to avoid the effects of the nebula. It's risky, but it can be done. It's a hard pull though.
Then we probably need to have our mechanics at the ready when we drop from hyperspace. Are we dropping inside the nebula or outside? Can you tell?
Outside.
Why is not this the moving one?
Outside, I believe we're stopping and then changing direction to do another small hyperjump.
Understood. So we need to have our mechanics at the ready. I'll give my mechanic some sleep and get him ready for the end of the jump.
I'm also a little bit of a mechanic if we need to do shifts.
You'll probably need to assist. It might be a good idea for the both of you to be back there at those engines specifically to make sure that we end the hyperjump smoothly. If we're just outside the nebula, there might be some extra things out there in space. Since we're ending off of the hyperspace route, we need to be on our guard for anything.
This is going to be so much fun.
Jump.
So Mando, what was your name again? Clanks. Why'd you shoot at stormtroopers?
Well, you look like you were in trouble and you needed help.
Is it really that's all?
We'll talk more after we get to our destination.
All right, I appreciate the
Maybe
help, buddy.
I might have some information for you.
All right.
Our destination. So why are you flying with us?
Well, I can't exactly return to Mechas 3 now, can I?
Good point. Do you plan to diverge from our path, or are
I think I'll ride this out and see where we're going. Y'all seem like an interesting bunch.
for what purpose? What is your mission?
Now, exactly who are you?
My name is Compass, captain of the Enduring
You're on
Wave,
that
leader of the
Pervion. I don't think
360th cohort of clone troopers.
we've ever met before.
We should. At the first available
And did you
opportunity,
say?
we should
And
disembark and
did you say clone troopers?
correct. We
Oh,
also have
brother.
a load
Hey,
of
that's
V1
all we
battle droids.
need. Some knockoff Mandalorians.
Excuse me? Your
You
last
heard
con-
me.
your last broadcast came through a little garbled. Check your communications, please.
I said knockoff Mandalorians. That's what clone troopers are.
His side of the conversation goes quiet. He doesn't say anything else. Tari pipes up. Oh, Nebula doesn't sound too difficult. We just drop in there, find whatever these coordinates are, and have this star map record them then. Simple as that. We might have to do a little bit of engineering work, but it doesn't sound too difficult.
Yeah, it's a little tricky, but you need a really good engineer to really bypass it. But besides that, it's nothing to it.
All right. Well, if that's the case, then I think that the rest of us need to get some sleep. Get some rest, wake up a couple of hours before the end of the hyperspace jump, and get ready for action. And Tari
Roger.
says, it's probably a good idea. I think I need to talk to some of my crew too. Long stride, signing off. And he has his finger pressed toward the button, but is looking toward Rose for permission to cut the communication.
Shall nod.
And he cuts it off. On board the Kel Dragon, is there anything you're going to do, Crate 7?
Can I make another mechanics check?
Sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
roll
if
it.
I'm going to this nebula, I might as well try to fix it, right?
Yeah, we're not going to roll 12
You can do it
times.
once around. So, like,
Yeah, go ahead and do it again.
and I looked it up.
What
I
would
didn't
I
see any
get
penalty
if I
for
use the
failure.
droid with it?
Yeah, take a +2. Take a +2 for that.
Son of a bitch!
Oh my God, that's a 1. That's a nat 1. All
Oh,
right.
okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Here's the DM ruling on that. That -1 cannot be repaired. You need to go to a star base in order to repair this particular condition track damage.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair.
And not only that, but the HP cannot be repaired either. So you're stuck. That your maximum is now what it is now.
I'm gonna throw shit around the cockpit. God damn it, son of a bitch, motherfucking god!
Richard Fresson, he's doing the Yosemite Sam. A Mandalorian is doing the Yosemite Sam. Okay.
Rose is getting ready to do the best she can with preemptive maintenance in the long strider.
Yeah, he's looking around saying, and Core to call, who you've met before, the green-faced, forget his species. Marukalan, is it? It's a near human species. It slips my mind, damn it. But he's pointing through the system, and he points to you and he says, and no more logging into a scomp port just at random, okay?
What? It's fun.
Well, it might be fun, but this isn't as an advanced a ship as we had before. Trust me, in the while that we've had the long strike, I know these systems the best. If we're going to come out into a nebula, then that means we have to look at our dampeners, make sure that there's no dust that gets in here. Once that does, that's going to do some serious damage.
She's going to turn her back on him and bend over and insert her scomp probe in.
Well, near the engines actually are fairly well maintained. And Cortical's been back here at least twice a day, and there's a sign-in system. There's a sign-in system for regular maintenance. So, and this was set up by Cortical himself. So, and he's created his own sign-in system, or there's someone else working on this. But if Jack realizes that every single sign-in procedure has been done by Cortical himself, and he is pretty fastidious about this check-in list across the engines.
Okay, let's see if we can bypass it.
All right, make a use the computer check. We're fucking around again. Here we go.
What's the DC?
Oh, the DC on this is only 15. No problem. You have bypassed the sign-in procedures. They no longer apply to you.
She's just going to download the status of everything first, and that's all.
Okay, done.
Turns and smiles. Your engines are pretty good.
And he says, "Well, thank you. You didn't do anything while you were in there, did you?"
No, I haven't altered any of your settings.
Oh, that's a relief. I try to keep this in top running efficient. Well, it sounds like we're going to have a bumpy ride.
I just bypassed it so I don't have to go through all those questions.
But, oh, bypass what?
Your login system.
Oh, well, that's mostly for me to make sure and to remind myself to do this regular maintenance with everything else I've got. Shit. It's kind of more like an alarm system for me than anything, so it's okay if you. As Reddy's eyes are going between him and you, trying to figure out what happened here, whether you're going to get into it again.
Stands up, puts the scomp port away, and looks around the engineering. At least it's clean.
Yeah, fairly clean. The only thing that the only things that are out of place is that the engine cowlings have been removed and they're stacked up behind a metal encasement, and they're chained up against the wall. Not exactly the best securing method, and it's not really common to have the engine cowling side unless there's funny business going on there mechanically that you can't see.
Well, they're not there for protection. They're just there to make things look nice most of the time.
True. Apparently, he likes his sensitive whirling engine parts easy access. Makes it a little more dangerous in here.
Okay, as long as we know what we're dealing with.
Reddy says, "Yeah, it's okay by me. So what else? What do we do next?"
You need to go sleep.
Oh, yeah. That might be a good idea, huh?
Well,
You think Tommy would let me fly a shift? Well, then again, we're in hyperspace. It doesn't really matter, does it? I guess I'm
if
just
we
sleeping in the pilot's seat.
if we need to, I'll be doing my assistance of the repair on this ship.
Oh, yeah, good point. So I guess I'm relegated to that jump seat. That's nice. Well, I've had worse. As he goes walking off, kind of dejected. He's just in an awkward place. He doesn't have a place aboard the ship, at least for now.
You can sit in the co-pilot's chair. I don't need to sit down.
Yeah, I'll go talk to him later. I do need some sleep. I need to get some more water in me. Stay hydrated. And he walks off. Anything happening on board the Enduring Wave, Bingo? Trill? Otherwise, we're going to drop out of hyperspace.
No.
I'm
Go
looking
ahead.
for my droid.
Oh,
Where's
yes.
Tuesday?
You need to find Tuesday before you drop from hyperspace, because that could be a little bit rough.
Oh, don't worry about him.
Maya can help with that.
I'm sure you could, and I welcome your help.
So yeah, she's gonna get down on all sixes and start to sniff.
Well, you don't know the scent or what the scent of a droid might be, and it's confusing because there are a lot of droids. It takes you about an hour to actually find Tuesday, who has wedged himself between two cargo crates,
Oh,
and he's
of
powered
course.
down.
Okay. Well, I'm good on wedge him.
Now, give me a strength check. He's in there pretty good. He's wedged in there pretty good.
Oh,
It's not a straight strength, it's just roll a d20 with your strength modifier.
yeah. Alright.
He's wedged himself in there pretty good.
Tuesday, you are the living end. One sec.
Sorry about being harsh on you, Aaron, but that's a one, baby.
Oh boy.
Hey!
He pops right out
I
of like a
He-Man.
cork out of a ball, but
I
he doesn't
He-Man
pop.
that shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta plug him in. But I He-Man that shit out of there. Just.
So you got to find a place to recharge him. Some things on the enduring wave are different now that you're walking around. The medical chair has been installed on the main deck, and it's surrounded on both sides by droid recharging stations for the B1s.
Yeah,
There should be
because
a
they.
couple of small closets with recharge stations in on the main deck.
Yeah, like before.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
this
I'm
is the
just
first
gonna.
time that you've encountered these B1 battle droids. Some of them, and they're just walking laps around the main deck. So half of the lounge that you by back in the olden days has been replaced by the medical chair and these recharge stations. And there are a bunch of B1s in there using them. They seem to be all be occupied. What do you do?
Well, I'm gonna try and find a place for Tuesday to go.
Well, all of the recharge stations are occupied, and the B1s are shut down in them. There's nowhere to put them. What do you want to do?
Oh, keep looking, like other places.
Uh, well, scouring of the ship. And as you continue to walk around, you're not finding any other droid recharge stations, large or small.
Damn, they removed the three I put in.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
go to
they
the
changed
bridge
things
then.
around. They did change things
I'm
around.
gonna.
What do you want to do next?
I'm gonna go to the bridge then.
On the bridge, a B1 battle droid is just now walking out, kind of. So you have to step aside and let him pass if you want to.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna ask him. Hey, is there a recharge station on this bridge?
Oh yeah. Well, not on the bridge. There is one, but it's not really designed for us.
Oh, good, 'cause he's not you. I hold up Tuesday.
Oh, another droid. You should be able to plug him in if he has a scout port attachment.
Which Tuesday doesn't.
No, he does not.
So that's not going to work either.
Hmm.
Does your droid need a recharge?
Yeah, he got himself stuck.
Oh,
Um,
sometimes that happens with some of us, especially back in engineering. We've learned not to go back there. There are 4 recharge stations here on the main deck.
all right. I'll go see to it. Thanks, man. I like shake his robot hand with my robot hand.
nice droid hand.
Yeah, it's pretty slick. I kind of miss the old one, but you know, what are you gonna do? I owed a certain doctor a punch in the head, though.
Oh, so a doctor put that in you?
Yep, lost my real one.
Welcome to the world of droids.
Yeah, well, as long as you guys don't like hold up places with grenades, I think you'll be all right.
Grenades? They don't trust any of us with grenades.
Now, seeing what I've seen with droids having grenades, probably the best.
Hey, I'm headed to the main deck into the general lounge area. If you want me to show you where the droid stations are, where the droid recharge stations are, just follow me.
Lead the way. I'll follow.
As he goes right back to the 4 occupied droid stations that you found earlier.
Oh no, they're all occupied.
How long does this take?
Well, it depends on the droid and how much power they've used. We're on a regular schedule, so we never get close to an empty battery of any kind. But I'll ask them.
He leans down, plugs himself into the first station. Well, he doesn't plug himself in. What he does is he taps a few buttons. There's a control box there.
Oh, I can wake this one up if you want me to.
Well, that'd be great. I appreciate it.
He punches a few more buttons, and this balled up B1 droid slowly unfolds itself and stands up.
Hey, Twink. Hey, Shaky. Hey, it looks like this human wants your recharge station for this smaller droid. Oh, that smaller droid is a friend of yours?
And he is one of my
Well,
best.
go ahead. Plug him right in. I'm at 68%. I can continue my patrols.
Appreciate it. I pat him on his weird robotic back and put Tuesday in there. Hook him up.
And Tuesday begins to recharge. Strangely, he's at 94%. So he shut himself down on purpose. He wasn't out of power.
Huh. That's a little odd. Like, I'm just gonna like tap on his little head like, hey, wake up. What's up?
And Tuesday does not.
I see. Hmm. Well, I'm just gonna let him charge here, and I'm just gonna sit beside him.
Compass
I hope
reappears.
he's alright.
He,
I
he
hope he's
walks
alright.
in with jukebox. And the only reason you recognize jukebox is because of his multicolored hair.
Oh
And
yes.
Compass walks by you. And then he pauses, turns on his heel, and says, "Oh, hello again. Is there anything that we need to discuss?
Oh, you and I like about what? My droid? Yeah, I just got stuck.
Problems with your droid?
He's an emotional droid. Something's
Hmm."
probably eating at him.
He steps over, looks at the console. Well, he's almost fully recharged, so that should be easy.
Yeah.
If you need, I can have one of my people help you with.
Wow. I don't think I need to right now. But we'll see if he wakes up. If not, then I'll take you up on that offer.
Good. We got off on the right foot. We got off on the wrong foot at first, but it's nice to see that we can work together. Is there anything else that you
Yeah.
need?
Uh, not that I can think of.
While you are on board this ship,
Got
you're considered a guest here. If there's anything you need, any comforts among the few comforts that this ship offers, feel free to ask. By the way, you should get some rest.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think I will. I think I'll go have a nice lie down, glass of water, get some sleep.
Excellent. We'll see you ready for the hyperspace drop. As he starts to walk away, the jukebox just stands there, nodding at air, suddenly realizes where he is, shakes himself out of whatever space he was in, and starts walking after Compass, trying to catch up.
Help me.
Hours later, the hyperspace drop is preparing to end. Everyone is in their places. Crate 7 in the cockpit, and Bingo, you're in the pilot seat of the Enduring Wave, and Compass is actually beside you, and he's in the pilot seat. Meanwhile, on board the Longstride, it's Tari and Rose. Are we ready to come out of the jump?
Yep.
You do. The stars resolve themselves, but they resolve themselves in a misty pink and purple cloud that crystallizes into the spiderweb nebula in front of you.
Well,
You are about 10 to 30 AUs, astronomical units, away from the actual coordinates. The nebula is ahead of you. The Kyberis Nebula. Do you wish to enter the nebula? And if so, who's going to do it?
Listen,
Rose
Ruby was.
smiles at Tari and hits the thrusters.
And Tori looks back. So, how close do we have to get to this thing? These coordinates for the star map to register?
Well, this is the first one, so we'll find out.
Yeah, good point. I don't like this. As he starts coasting his way in. Bingo, you see the excess light freighter start to move toward the nebula. Do you pursue?
I'll hail Rose and be like, Rose, do you want me to pursue or stay back?
Follow at a safe distance. We may need emergency recovery.
Gotcha.
Crate
Yeah,
7?
no, do that.
Crate 7? What do you want to do?
I'm gonna hold with the enduring wave.
Well, the Enduring Wave is moving. It looks like they're going in.
Hmm. It's a nebula, and I ain't got no shields though.
Right? Neither does the Longstride. Longstride's going in.
It booted me.
But we have a couple of
The
decent
long,
engineers.
Yeah, it
the long
deals
stride's gone in, huh?
it deals 2d6 times 2 and -1 step on the condition track.
If it hits. +4 against the fortitude defeat.
Yeah,
Let's see whether it hits the Longstride or affects the Longstride at all.
and then you can make a DC mechanics check for 1 hour. The character stays off the effects. DC 24 mechanics check stays off the effect. Nebula dust and gases.
Next is the Enduring Wave. And finally, Kel Dragon. Into the nebula you go. Pink and
Stop.
purple and lavender tendrils touch the hulls of these ships as they pass, one by one. The blinker, the first blinker on the star map, blinks a little faster and a little faster and a little faster until it starts to vibrate. And Tari says, "I think we've got something. Is that a blip?" As he looks at the radar. You see it too. There's a blue dot out there.
Okay.
Well, as you near it, you see what it is. It looks like two black triangles with some spherical construction in the middle. And within that spherical construction, there's something blue glowing in the midst of it, in the midst of this spherical cage. And
Well,
Tari says,
that's interesting.
well, that looks like a beacon of some kind, or a transmitter. I'm not sure what this is. The star map pings, and the first light goes solid. Of course, that's not the only thing that happens. Across the bottom of the star map, which is now vertical, it's plugged in at the console, there's a green bar that appears, a long green bar, and there's a smaller red strip beside it. You're not exactly sure what that is.
Joy. Looks at it multispectrally.
Well, at first it doesn't make sense, but the first segment of the green bar starts to blink. And then it disappears. And then the next one starts to blink. Tari looks over. Timer?
Possibly,
What do you think?
although I'm unsure as to what its timing.
Well, it might not be a timer. Who knows what that is? But we'd better get moving. The longer we stay in here, the worse this is going to get.
Okay, she'll transmit the next set of coordinates to everyone.
And now we get to make the jump again. The next jump.
Oh boy.
So we need some rolls now.
It's,
Use
And bingo,
computer.
you're for the enduring wave. And if you need data from the enduring wave, I can give it to you. But I need some data from you first, because you're technically the pilot now.
Boom.
yeah. What do you need to know?
Heroic level is 8. Level of ace pilot is 1. Training pilot skill, yes. Your pilot skill bonus is what now?
Pilot skill is it's 19.
Yeah, I am installing you as the pilot of the enduring wave. Initiative bonus.
14.
15. And base attack bonus.
7.
7. I thought it was 7. I just want to make sure. And that's no. Legendary commander, no. Okay. And your mechanics bonus. I know you're trained in mechanics. Let's get that straight.
10.
10. Okay. Okay. Now, what's your perception, by the way?
6.
Perception 6. And what's your use computer?
10.
Okay. So that's 7 and 7. Okay, I'm going to give you your stats in a minute. Which one do you need?
Well, if I'm astrogating, just use computer, I
For
guess.
this roll. For your use computer, that's going to be plus 10. Yeah,
Okay, plus 10.
I'm getting that off the ship readouts. You have a plus
Okay.
10. Make you roll.
20 plus
Everybody else has got a 32.
plus 5 for nav computer.
Yeah.
Okay. 17.
This one proves a little tough because you're not familiar with the location. It's off the space, but you managed to make a few corrections and head toward the Ophidian system. It's another. Let's see, how far is this away now? Because we're adding this up from the Nora system. We're headed toward the Ophidian system, which is west northwest. It's across both of those routes near It's to
Oh,
the
starts with an
west
O,
of
right?
Albrayton. It starts with an
Oh,
O, Ophidoron.
okay, I
Just
see
to
it.
the
I get to
west
mark
of
that.
Lockwood Depot and Alberon. You are in it. You are now headed to grid K13 in the southeast. That's where you're headed.
Underneath
Just
the
so I draw
Latin
a little
Depot
line.
and above Willori.
You guys see it? You know where you're headed?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Everybody who needs to? Okay, good. Ready to drop?
Yeah.
12 hours later, you drop out of hyperspace. This is a younger star, and you're far outside the planetary disk. So the dot in the distance is one star brighter than the other ones, and that is the star of the Ephemeron system. But it's only a tiny brighter speck in space, and it has a halo around it because of all the dust in the system. Unfortunately, you guys drop out of system into a micrometeor shower, which
Oh,
is a
lovely.
small blanket of micrometeors that are raining on of every single ship that's there. This roll's done by turn. So you're going to have to pilot to this next object, which is still a small distance away. And these rolls will be made against your ships every turn.
I mean, can't we just blast the meteors?
These are
They're too small.
micrometeors. They're tiny.
They're too small. You couldn't target them.
Imagine
Anybody
you're
want
being
to resist this? Any ideas?
imagine your ship's being pounded by frozen peas at extreme speed.
All right.
Compass, who's on the bridge, looks over at he's from in the co-pilot seat, and he looks over at you, Bingo, and he says, "Can you set shields from your console?" As he's reaching out to touch his console.
I set shields.
Do you have an angle deflect? That's right. You don't have that.
I have attack formation Zeta 9.
Yeah. He yells, "Spinner, get in here!" As he quickly vacates the seat. Spinner takes over. He starts punching some buttons, setting shields to double front. Compass nods. Understood. Acknowledged. Your shields are now on double front, granting the vehicle a +5 equipment bonus to fortitude defense against this hazard.
Okay.
And the wave can do that. Now, this hazard goes against the long stride first. This is a +7. It needs
Longstride is going to slip in behind.
Is this what I get for trying to help y'all out with the stormtroopers?
The enduring wave. So the enduring wave is acting like an umbrella for the other two ships.
Not a bad idea. Which means
We're going to have it go and give it the final coordinates and directions.
We playing the choo-choo game.
Follow my leader. Yep.
the long strider thought of it.
We'll also fly around the enduring wave so that it is actually between us and the majority of the micrometeorites directions.
The enduring wave sets its shields to double front, and because of quick thinking by the other two pilots drive in the enduring wave's wake as these dust and micrometeorites shower off the shields. And as Bingo, you're looking out through the double shield front, you see these little sparkles happening constantly. And you know that this would be like rain on Dontarine, but it's deadly to any starship that isn't prepared. Such small things, such big damage. And it's because of the speed you're moving at. But to you, this is only a glitter light show. You reach the
Okay.
beacon, and the second light comes on and stays solid.
What does it do now?
The green resets. The green was almost at the bottom when it resets. And Tari says, so They're measuring what? Time? Distance between these things?
I think we have to get between the 2 points before the bar gets to the top.
So we better make our astrogation jumps accurate. And we can't
Yeah.
use any wasted motion. What do you think? You think that the doctor planned this with you?
Not specifically me, but certainly a droid in 1 point.
Hmm.
He doesn't have me, so how can he do this?
So where are we going next?
Coordinates being transmitted.
Now you're headed from the Ophidiron field to the star Xenix Gamma. This is among the tight-punching stars in the Xenix cluster, or
This
Xenox
one might
cluster,
get a little hairy.
which is in K13 to the west of Ophidian and to the north a little bit, just on the
This
edge of the Xenix cluster, and just on the
this
edge of
one's only about an
the
8-hour trip.
What's that?
This one's only about 8 hours.
Yeah, about that. Ready to drop?
Yep.
The Xenox cluster?
The
Yep.
Xenox cluster is where you're headed. Yes, the Xenox cluster. These stars are a collection of light blue, bright blue, and what looks like purple, a bright magenta purple, almost white, as you drop into this system. And you see the cluster of stars, and they're uncomfortably close because there is a cluster of stars, and you're only within 10 astronomical units of these cluster of stars. So these are big stars. Unfortunately, the object that you're looking for, the precise coordinates, are almost right up against one of these stars in tight orbit. How do you want to approach this one? Rose, Bingo, you're on. You're sharing the spotlight here before you encounter the hazard. You can guess what it is if you want to guess. Otherwise, gotta go in there.
It's high temperatures, which means more shields.
So what's the deal, Rose? You got to fly to these specific coordinates, so I can't help you with that.
No, but you can meet us on the other side. We still can't hyper jump out from the system directly there.
Yeah, you certainly can't jump at that location.
We might be able to jump in.
Yeah, but not from the beacon. You're gonna have to fly back out.
We can jump into the beacon, but we have to fly back out. Yeah.
I think I'll wait for y'all on the other side.
Okay, so who's going in? This is going to be important later. Which ships are going in?
The Cal Dragon's not.
Okay.
No, you don't have
Cal
to.
Dragon's not. All right.
The Enduring Wave could, but they've got the shields to do it. We
And
don't,
Bingo,
but
you're
we need
listening
to.
in on all of this. And Compass turns to you as if you were one of his men, and he says, "Advice."
Uh, I I think I can pull this off, but it'll be a risk. I don't know, but we have to. I
What
want to
kind of
see
a
this
risk are we
mission
looking at?
accomplished. Well, it's a
Go on.
binary star system. There might be heat waves, gravitational waves. Who knows? But I think the shields can handle whatever it throws at us, and if not, I can get us out of there.
What about the stars themselves?
What about them?
Is there any issue with the arrangement or the condition of these stars that we should be thinking about?
I'll check. Is there any? Do I sense anything?
Do you want to do a perception roll?
Or a pilot check? I don't know.
I'm going to do a bit of a
You can make
scan
a
see if I can
perception
get
roll.
any
You
information.
can make a perception roll here.
All right, I'll
You
make
can make a
perception.
perception roll or a use computer roll.
I'll use computer.
Okay. Your DC is 22.
24.
Ah, here's a problem. Here's a problem. Deep inside the star, where the beacon is located, there is a there's a solar flare that's just now building, and it's just now reaching its peak, which means it's going to eject solar matter out of that star and across that beacon.
How
And
much
that
time
Is
do we
there
have?
solar
any?
flare is a long time. Solar flares could take hours, could take days. Meanwhile, that green bar continues to tick.
Could you tractor it out?
Tractor out the size of ejecta from a major star?
No. The beacon itself.
I don't think we have a
Nobody
tractor
has
beam.
any tractor. Why would you want to move the beacon?
Can't move the
Moving the
beacon. We have
beacon
to
might
go
be
in there
the
very quickly. This is a speed test.
How do you want to handle this? It's not exactly, it's a speed test to get there. That solar wind is coming no matter what. You're going to have
What's
to
the
go in there in there.
What's the beacon on?
What do you mean the beacon is on?
Is it on a small asteroid? Is it on something?
It's free floating. This beacon is free floating in tight orbit around Xenix Gamma, which is about to eject a major solar flare and the solar wind that comes with it.
All right, Rose. I say you go for it, and then we back you up, like away from
Okay.
the thing. I mean, you have to. Your ship's the one that has to do it.
Okay, here
Calculate.
is the deal. Here's the deal on the hazard. If you're going to go in there, it's going to be a +9 versus fortitude defense. It's going to do 3d8 times 2 ion damage. And if it does, every creature inside the starship will take half damage from radiation if it hits. This is a dangerous thing you're going into. Do you still want to go in there?
Yeah, I'm not going in there. My advice to Compass is, I say the solar flare is too dangerous. I say it's Rose's mission. She can do it, but we'll stay nearby in case she needs us. But I don't think we should go in there.
What
What we're
is
going
what is the HP of your ship?
Spinner turns around in his seat and says, "We can actually do it, sir. If we reconfigure the shields may be able to take up those ions."
I'm worried about the droids. I don't want them to get hit by that ion or the radiation by the star. I don't.
Neither do
We'll get
I.
hit by the radiation.
Neither
All
do I.
right.
Spinner,
But we
our
have to
shields
go
are
in. So
absolutely sufficient to take on that hit. He says, "Well,
we'll use.
we'll have to monitor." And Spinner answers, "We'll have to monitor the star for the amount of ejecta it makes. Just because we're seeing the solar flare in action doesn't necessarily tell us exactly how strong it's going to be."
Look, I can take the risk. I can do it. But I want to cut wherever this ends up. If there's treasure, I want to cut. Okay.
The downside is we have to go because we've got the device.
And
Yeah.
Tari nods. Yeah, this was done on
And your
purpose.
ship doesn't have a way for me to dock, do you?
No,
No, we
we're
don't have
gonna
docking facilities aboard this ship.
we're gonna have to use the enduring wave like another umbrella, but we're gonna have to fly above them.
Rose, have you rolled on this hazard?
No,
Since you don't have any shields, you can't use the use computer option, but you could use the perception option to maybe time it to see when the solar flare is going to happen and when those ejections are. Once it starts, you know from your astrogation experience and astronomical experience that a solar wind could last for days or weeks. This is initially what kept Compass and crew trapped on Helska 4 for years.
does a 30 work?
Yes, the solar wind is imminent, but if you fly in there now, you might be able to make it out in time. Might.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
All right. I
Give
guess
me a
I'll.
pilot
Full
check.
speed ahead.
I'm going in
She's
too.
gonna.
So now Longstride starts moving without contacting either one of the other ships. Longstride starts going in and starts heading into this ship until the star is so big it's a giant blue blob on your IFF, and the Longstride is getting close enough to the star to disappear inside that blob. Meanwhile, on board the Longstride, it's getting hot in here. You can hear the ship rattling from the gravitational force. Thankfully, it's a good ship. That grinding and slight compression of the hull is what this ship is designed to handle, although not for sustained periods.
I'm pushing the throttle to as much as possible. Over the radio, she says, "I'm cutting power to non-essential systems
You
and
hear port to
rerouting to
call
the engines."
over intercom. Understood? And was that your roll with 30?
Yep.
You get to the beacon, it blinks, blinks, and blinks faster, and it's finally lit. That's 3 down. Now you've got to
And
get out.
yeah, she's that's why she's transferred all the power. We're off.
And
And
to
as soon as we're
make this,
clear enough to radio the other ships, we'll tell them to meet them on the other side.
so here is the attack against the Longstride.
21.
And the Longstride, that's against Fortitude defense. Let me look up what the Fortitude defense of the Longstride is. And that's a Fortitude of 26. So you got lucky there. You've made the turn. Give me a pilot check to get out of there, because you have to make kind of a flat spin turn to get out of range.
Okay.
DC's a
1
15. It's not that hard, but it's not a simple maneuver.
plus 17 plus 2 for a co-pilot.
Yeah, because Tari's
Minus
definitely a system. He realizes what you're
10.
going to do because he's got the same idea.
Boom! They're out of there.
And now it's time for astrogation to make your way into hyperspace, because now that this star is erupting, this solar wind's going to catch you if you don't make the successful hyperspace jump. By the way, I need to make another attack roll. Hang on.
And she's going to be doing a calculation. Oof.
Oh shit.
And it does. It does hit the Longstride, just barely. And that's going to do. This is going to hurt. And this is multiplied by 2. That's 26 ion damage.
Doesn't Rose take that too?
Each creature inside the starship takes half damage from radiation if the hazard's attack is successful. So it's actually 13. Rose, you take 13 points of damage. So does Tari. So does Ready Jadio. So does Vanderosi, Portakal, and Ty J. Gunners.
Anybody
Everybody
die?
takes 13.
Anybody
they're
have
all
13
heroic
hits? Okay.
They're all heroic characters. It just
Okay.
hurts.
Fudge.
Now make your astrogation roll. See if you can get out of here. Otherwise, you're going to get exposed again. It's minus 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'd be
Yeah.
23.
Don't forget
So yeah.
23. Yeah. So the Longstride is away. The rest of you can take your time if you want to, but if you do, you'll be about a minute behind.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. This is important now. You're going to be 10 rounds behind when the pops out at the next destination. Keep track of that.
Okay.
Next destination.
Natural 20
For what?
for my astrogation. I just rolled it. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So you know exactly where you're going. From
Okay.
Xenix Gamma toward the Cavacia system. And the Cavacia system, let me tell you where this is.
Almost due north.
Yeah, almost due north. You're going to cross the hyperspace lane, although you're going to pass over it because this is three-dimensional, so you're not actually going to intersect the hyperspace. And that's at the northwest corner of K13. You're getting closer and closer to the unknown regions beyond the known galaxy.
I still don't know why we're taking this friggin' route.
To get the beacons.
Yeah.
You're in hyperspace talking about it.
It's just weird ass things. I mean, I was
And
supposed to be picking up
as you're
the
talking,
radiation damage or biometeoroid damage or something like that.
and as
Because
you're
there's no other
talking,
reason for this.
hours before your scheduled drop, the stars stretch back into their normal point. You are dropping hyperspace, and immediately above you, you hear the collision alarm.
Oh joy.
In front of you, kind of leaning over on its side and pointing away from you, with the engines pointing up and to the right, is an Imperial class Gozanti class cruiser, and bits of its hyperdrive are leaking. It looks like the rings and the nozzle are trailing into space as if they've been completely disconnected from the ship. And you're about to hit. Not only do you realize this, but there are a number of enemy contacts around this ship. You recognize them instantly, Rose, as TIE fighters. So they are circling this ship. The ship appears to be alone, but you're going to hit it. Not only do you realize that this is a problem, but the Gazantic class cruiser has 4 more craft attached to its bottom, and they have double nacelles in between folded wings. You recognize them as TIE bombers. They're still attached, at least for now, to that ship. 10 rounds from now, you're going to have 2 more ships coming out of hyperspace behind you, and both of them are going to be on a collision course. These TIE fighters change position and start coming at the long stride. You are about to enter combat, and this is where we will end Session 58, The Distance.